Okay, everyone, this is a review, very quickly, of the preliminary objections filed by the defendants McCoy, Porter, and Henderson to dismiss. Let's say to dismiss. It's in the form of a demurrer, and it's attempting to dismiss the intentional infliction of emotional distress claim. It's intending to dismiss the civil conspiracy claim, the request for attorney's fees, and the request for punitive damages. And as you scroll down, the very beginning, it tells you specifically the section which they're relying on. That's 1028A4. We've looked at that. And basically, the factual and procedural history really leads you through the basics of the complaint and what it says. If you look, they're referring to different counts of the complaint, going through paragraphs, let's see, at least paragraphs 10. Then at paragraph 11, they get into more detail about the demurrer. And they address those areas that I mentioned. So without going into too much more detail, I'd ask you to read this, because I think you'll find it interesting. And it's basically their contention that these different points in this complaint should be dismissed. And that's really the long and the short of it. I wish there was more. If you read it, you're going to find it's got some complexity to it, nothing you won't be able to understand. But that's basically a preliminary objection and the arguments that they're making. Oh, they do use a term that you haven't probably heard before. I'm pointing right now to the wherefore clause. The wherefore clause in sort of old lawyer language is called an ad space damnum, D-A-M-N-U-M clause. It's also called a wherefore clause, and they're complaining about the wherefore clause in the complaint that was filed. So basically that's it. I'm going to ask you to read this over. We will refer to it. When you get to page 11, I believe it is, page 9 looks like. Yeah, page 11, had it right the first time. Page 11, what they do is they attach a copy of the complaint, so it's nothing, and the civil cover sheet. It's nothing that you haven't, this is what you've seen before already. So that's it, everybody, but that's the preliminary objections.